It is my privilege to present the 2020 to 2024 Strategic Plan for the Grand Junction Fire Department. This plan was developed to meet the demands of modern fire and emergency medical services and the needs of the City of Grand Junction. The plan is also designed to dovetail with the guiding principles and strategic directives of the City's Strategic Plan. The strategic planning process considers both internal and external forces that have an impact on service delivery for the organization. This plan will serve as the department's roadmap for the next 5 years, and along with efforts toward accreditation, will ensure continuous improvement as we evaluate our services and move into the future. As an organization, we look forward to the implementation of the goals and objectives of this strategic plan and to what the future holds for the Grand Junction Fire Department. I want to acknowledge the citizens, elected officials, employees, and other key community members that participated in the process and the surveys. Their participation guided the development of this document and is critical to the current and future success of the department. Lastly, I want to say how proud I am of the members of the department and the services that we provide to the community. The organization has recognized the need to not only build on the rich traditions of the fire service and our own history, but to also embrace change to provide the highest level of service. So on behalf of the men and women of the Grand Junction Fire Department, it is an honor and a privilege to serve, and we look forward to what the future holds. Thank you.
The strategic planning process was more than just the development of a document. It challenged the membership of the agency to look critically at our values, philosophies, and beliefs and emphasize the future of the agency. The strategic plan is not our first, nor will it be our last. It is meant to serve as a living document and a work in progress, a place where we can evaluate our progress towards our goals annually and adjust as circumstances change. This plan establishes Grand Junction Fire Department's mission, vision, and values, and establishes a roadmap for continuous improvement over the next 5 years. The major goals in the plan focus on the following 5 areas: service delivery, community risk reduction, administration human resources, training, and growth. This document is a culmination of the agency's efforts to detail how it will meet the needs of the community, how it will prioritize those needs, and establish timelines to meet those needs. Grand Junction Fire Department is committed to maintaining public trust to the highest levels of responsibility and accountability. We will remain fiscally responsible in our decision-making, treat every resident with the utmost dignity and respect, ensure our equipment is always in superior working order and ready to respond, and continue to perform our profession to the best of our abilities while maintaining critical skills.
Grand Junction has a strong history that dates back more than 135 years. In the 1880s, the area was part of the Northern Ute Reservation. In September of 1881, the area experienced a land rush, and a town site was staked. The name stems from the location at the confluence, or junction, of the Colorado and Gunnison Rivers. The fire department began on July 18, 1889 as the Cameron Hose Company. In 1891, to improve operations, a hook and ladder was added, and the Grand Junction Volunteer Ladder Company was formed as an independent entity. In 1893, Grand Junction was a city of 3,000 people and had 75 volunteer firemen, 2 hose carts, a hook and ladder truck, and 55 fire hydrants. The agency's transition from volunteer to career fire department began June 17, 1898, and the first paid fire chief, John Dickerson, was appointed. In 1902, the 2 fire companies were reorganized as the Grand Junction Fire Department. The new agency consisted of a chief, 6 professional firefighters, and 6 men who assisted with large fires. The agency purchased its first fire truck in 1912, and up until this time, the apparatus was horse-drawn. In the 1920s, the Grand Junction Fire Department started a 2-platoon system, guaranteeing that a full crew of firemen were always on duty and that a second crew could be called into action in an emergency. During the 1930s, salaries for individual firemen were about $2,000 a year. This was considered good pay in the years following the Great Depression. In 1943, while the war raged abroad, a carload of munitions en route to the West Coast exploded on the railroad tracks in Grand Junction. and members of the Grand Junction Fire Department responded to fight the fire. Chief Charles Downing lost an arm to an exploding shell during the incident. In the mid-1940s, the Grand Junction Fire Department extended fire protection to the unincorporated areas surrounding Grand Junction, and the Rural Fire Protection District was formed. During the 1960s, fire crews repaired all equipment and were responsible for all servicing of vehicles. In 1969, the department began charging residents for ambulance transportation. From the 1970s to the present, the Grand Junction Fire Department has continued to grow, adding fire stations, EMT and paramedic programs, and in July of 2006 taking on medical transports, which now accounts for over 80% of our call volume. We have moved from 2 shifts to 3, providing fire suppression, rescue, emergency medical services, hazardous materials response, prevention, investigation, and public education services to the community of Grand Junction.